few seconds, then watch the microphone get blown. It's a mischievous lyrical genius on the loose, and I pack the deuce us some app righteous. I'm in my own space and time. The elevation of my rhymes elevate your mind. It's a clear blue sky and a clear blue day for a G from DPG to wear clear blue and gray. I came, I ain't the nigga you wants to fuck with. Get built like paint, bottoms up. Nigga, give it all you got from the bottom to the top, or get shanked, get shot. Provocative footage of this lyrical abuse, transgression from this infectious interlude. They on the loose, an unstoppable dash. My motherfucking nigga from back in the past.
Now imagine yourself in the bottom's pit with no way to climb it now. And this ain't the punishment, they'll leave this crystal crack. How should I react with intents to keep on mass? Strap to strap, but this my boundary from county to county. Your homies wanna try to soak me like bounty. Dog pound gangster all day, all night. Partying like a motherfucker now all night. But simple as fact, I've been wanting to serve your whole fucking crew. Now what you wanna do? What you wanna do? Hold up your weapon, slowly stepping, caught your homie straight slipping. You should've known from the jump, nigga, that up tripping. I get the butt, you get the duck. Dog pound gangster gets the dipping in the cut. My performance is enormous, the ways that I stay the corner. I catch him and let him have it. What's up with my opponents? I hold it down, brother 2-1. I'll be gunned down by no one. Forever I reign, top dog number one. My rhymes are so explainable, when dog got some trainable, uncontainable. My mind state's so strainable. I'm a DPGC for life. I do what I feel and I do what I like. I'm a DPGC for life. I do what I feel and I do what I like. I'm a DPGC for life. I do what I feel and I'ma do what I like. I'm a DPGC for life. I'ma do what I feel and I'ma do what I like.
I hit you like shots from the homie strap. I smoking dope and I sip cognac. Give a fuck what your name is. I tell you quick, face to face. Punk, you can eat a dick cause you're all out of time. Out of sight, out of mind. Something I wouldn't do without a nine. I got a pocket full of papers and a trunk full of beat. Mashing all through the streets, rolling with some heat. I'm heated, repeated, day after day. Daily survival tactics in LA. I'm on point in the dirt with skills like a hunting expert. Fuck around and get hurt. I put to work like a chemist, mentally known to cause motherfucking dilemmas. See me in black and beware, it's the dog pound gangsta on the loose out there.
Now here's the kick off, cause I'm about to rip off. Wages knocking lips off, traveling like a spitball. I hit you right between the eyes, smack dab in the middle with my rhymes on my riddles. Ain't got no time to fiddle, battle, dibble, dabble, gotta rock like Fraggle. I'm hitting so hard that I'm leaving them snaggle like Cleon's face. This black cat's got your jinx. Fuck around and you'll get chipped off like this. Think about it, better yet forget it. Play like you're bold, cause you're never gonna get it. The style, the flavor, the flow, the solo. With hit you in a second. 1, 2, mic checking. That's my lethal weapon like a chain of ball I'm wrecking. Shop, checking, Glock, not in my pocket. No need for cocking. Gauge, it's just flipping strips and ripping pages. Ranges, the amazing, 12 blazing, close shaping like Morocco. You can't let go, hell no. I'm that typical murderer, stranded on the road with my ill-tight flow and
Yeah. What up? Y'all already know it's the man about town. But I don't know. I was listening to that song earlier when I was at the gym working out, man. You know what I'm talking about? I just wanted to bang that joint. Y'all remember that joint? I'm a DPGC for life. I do what I feel and I'm going to do what I like. You know what I'm talking about? What's up with y'all, man? Y'all already know it's the man about town, Virgil Bear, a.k.a. Stats with the Facts. And y'all know y'all tuned into a Real Talk podcast. You did. You know what I'm talking about? Welcome to the show, everybody tonight. Tap in, walk with us, because we definitely about to go in. You hear me? Definitely about to go in. How y'all doing today, man? How did y'all like last night's show? Shout out to my brother King Els, man. Shout out to everybody who came through last night and tapped in with us. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all coming through and chopping it up with us. You know what I'm talking about? We don't take that for granted. We appreciate that. Meet and greet each other as y'all come up in the situation. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, what's going on with y'all, man? Shout out to our brother Kyrie Irving. Shout out to Kanye West, man. You feel me? Shout out to everybody who's saying what does need to be said, man. Shout out to everybody who ain't afraid to say the truth, man. Speak the truth. Not their truth, the truth. Big difference. You know, your personal truth only matters to you and those close to you. On the grand scheme of things, the only thing that matters is the truth. You understand what I'm saying? The truth, the truth. That's the only truth that matters. Let's be clear with that, right? How y'all doing tonight, man? Y'all ready? You know what I'm talking about? It's the two books I'll be talking about to y'all all the time, man. You hear me? And y'all need to go get both of these books. Last week we did 1984 by George Orwell. And this week we doing basically the I'll call it the sister book, the sister novel, the sister dystopian novel to 1984, man. So, you know, man, get ready, get your notebooks ready. You, man, get your pens ready because, you know, Jews is definitely going to be dropped. Game is definitely going to be in abundance tonight. So y'all want to get y'all pen and paper because y'all know I'm about to give y'all some information to go check up and validate for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Last night's show, man, I like last night's show a lot, man, because, you know what I'm saying, we're going to keep this thing going, man, over here at A-Real Talk. I've been preparing for this with this anti-Semitism thing. This is why I've been doing the research into the things that I've been doing, and I've been knowledging myself. I've been basically downloading this information so we can just become like this, right? Because I prepare myself mentally, intellectually, for when this anti-Semitism thing gets to where it's planned to get. You know what I'm saying? We can have the testicular fortitude to defend what we say when we call people fake Jews. You hear me? And I'm going in. I'm pause. I'm going in. Lance Parker in the building. What's good with you, man? You hear me? We got my brother Lance Parker in the building, man. You hear me? You read this book before, Lance Parker? My brethren? You done sat up there and read Brave New World before? How many of y'all done read it before? Put a 1 in the chat if you read Brave New World before. If I'm not mistaken, they got a series on Hulu or something like that. Now, is it based off of this book? I don't know. Let's go see real quick. Let's go see. Let's go to the Googler. I want to say it's a show. It is. It's a drama series. They got a movie too. Hold on, I didn't see that. Oh, it got canceled. Yep, and it's based off of the book too. Yeah, sure is. One episode, or they only had one episode. It was literally one episode, y'all. Yeah, man, it's a dope book, Lance Parker. Go get it, man. They had a TV series of it on Sci-Fi Channel, or should I say Sci-Fi Network, Sci-Fi Channel, right? And it got canceled. One episode, man. Yeah, and it's definitely based off of the novel. Now, mind y'all, Aldous Huxley came out with this book in 1932. George Orwell didn't come out with Brave New or 1984 until what? 16 years later? 17 years later? Right? Now, y'all remember what I told y'all about these two dudes, right, man? You hear me? Yeah, they had a whole TV show called Brave New World. It had literally one episode on the Sci-Fi Network. Like literally one episode. First episode was July 15th. The final episode was July 15th. Literally one episode. Right? And it was terrible. That's probably why I got now on. You never know, man. You never know why they be canceling their shows, man. Probably people weren't feeling it. I don't know. But there's only one episode, so you can't really say that because nobody really got a chance to really see it. You know what I mean? It's crazy, right? I didn't even know that. Right? Yeah, this is a ill book, man. You hear me? And I strongly suggest that y'all go read it. You hear me? Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. You know what I'm saying? Tap in and walk with us, man. Put a 1 in the chat if you read Brave New World before. Put a 1 in the chat if you even heard of the book before. Before you heard me say something about it. If you've heard me say anything about it. It's definitely a good read. It's not even a long book. It's only like 250 something pages. Like 255 pages. 257 pages. My fault. 259 pages. If you're a reader, an avid reader, you can literally get this book done in a day if you really read like that, for real. You feel me? Brave New World, a dystopian novel written by Aldous Huxley. This is a guy who y'all hear me talk about all the time. Y'all hear me always talk about this guy. I even spoke on him last week when we was talking about George Orwell. All right. This guy right here. We briefly spoke about this guy last week. You know what I'm saying? Briefly spoke about him in relation to George Orwell, right? And like I told y'all, him and George Orwell were very familiar with each other. They were roommates at the prestigious Eton College in London, right? Hold on, let me get another image, y'all. We don't want that one. Let's just go to this one. They were both students at Eton College. Y'all heard of Eton College before? Right? They both attended Eton College. You know, this is a school, like I said, that's considered to be an Ivy League school over there in London or in the United Kingdom with Cambridge and Oxford and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about? It's one of them type schools. And both of these guys attended this university, right? They were roommates at the established, prestigious Eton College, right? Now, Aldous Huxley, he's a little bit different than George Orwell, man, or a real name Eric Blair. But Aldous Huxley, he's a different animal for a lot of reasons. He is the younger brother of Julian Huxley. All right. Oh, Donald Rumsfeld looking. He really looked like him right there. This picture right here in the lower right-hand corner. I'm about to show y'all. The right there, the one in the lower right-hand corner, he looked like Donald Rumsfeld right there. But yeah, this is Julian Huxley. Aldous Huxley, older brother. All right. We got to lay foundation, y'all. Shout out to Larry Gators, man. Shout out to my man, King Els. We got to lay foundation. Let me get some water real quick. You know what I'm saying? We gotta lay the foundation, y'all. This is Julian Huxley, Aldous Huxley's older brother, right? And we're talking about Julian Huxley, you know. He was a eugenicist, right? World Evolutionary Humanism's Eugenics and UNESCO, right? Sir Julian Sorrel Huxley, right? This is Aldous Huxley's older brother, Julian Huxley, co-founder of the UNESCO, which is a branch of the United Nations, right? And his brother, older brother, this guy right here, Julian Huxley, he is one of the co-founders of UNESCO, right? And he was a eugenicist / biologist / futurist. All right. He did research into genetic modification, cloning, and developing technologies, right, that can track and trace DNA. Basically, everything we see going on now. He's the guy that was the catalyst to the studies to what we know it to be now, which is a worldwide situation. Eugenics, the studying of people's genes and how to manipulate them, and of course, weaponizing the manipulation of genetic structures. That's basically what eugenics is, right? To the point to where we have technology now that can attack certain genome types. They can literally concoct a biomechanical weapon or biological weapon that can specifically target a certain group of people by their DNA markers. This is the research that Julian Huxley spearheaded back in the early 1900s, right? And his little brother, Aldous Huxley, who went to the famous Eton College with George Orwell, aka real name Eric Blair, where they were roommates. Don't think that was by happenstance either, man. You hear me? And he basically was dropping the game on his little brother. He took his little brother under his wing because Aldous Huxley was full on board with this agenda, to the point where he wrote this book. Now, Julian Huxley, like Aldous Huxley, like his brother Julian Huxley, right? They were also, look at this dude, old Donald Rumsfeld looking dude, man. Look at it. Look how he got his hands in the chair. I want y'all to know that this is another topic for another day, man. You hear me? Julian Huxley was involved with a lot of stuff, man. He was a part of Project Paperclip and everything. You hear me? This guy, Julian Huxley. So his younger brother, Aldous, right? His younger brother, Aldous, is the one who wrote this book, Brave New World. And in the story, Brave New World was the story of a dystopian society. I'm going to read the back of the book for y'all. Aldous Huxley tour de force Brave New World is a darkly satiric vision of a utopian future where humans are genetically bred and pharmaceutically anesthetized to passively serve a ruling order. A powerful work of speculative fiction that has enthralled and terrified readers for generations. It remains remarkably relevant to this day as both a warning to be heeded as we head into tomorrow and as thought-provoking, satisfying entertainment. It is none of the sort. This is basically a manuscript of what's to come. All right. Now, Aldous Huxley, George Orwell, real name Eric Blair, and his older brother, Julian Huxley, right? They were all members of, remember I told y'all last week, of a secret fraternal organization known as the FABAIN Society. Y'all remember that when I told y'all that last week? They were members of, all three of them were members of the FABAIN Society. And like I always will say when I'm talking about this situation or this topic, notice that the logo for the FABAIN Society is a wolf with a sheepskin over him, a wolf in sheep's clothing. So that should let you know everything you need to know about the FABAIN Society, right? And not also to mention that the FABAIN Society was named after a Roman general, right, whose name was Fabius Maximus. Fabius Maximus was into all type of stuff, spirit cooking. They like little boys. Remember I told you all this last week? I gotta lay foundation, right? They're all members of the FABAIN Society named after Roman general Fabius Maximus. Right? So now here to the present day, we have, or not should I say present day, but up until when they wrote it, we have Julian Huxley writing this book, Brave New World, right? Now, Brave New World tells the story, like I read, of a society where humans are no longer born. Humans are grown, basically, or manufactured in what was called hatcheries. Y'all hear me talk about the hatcheries all the time if y'all pay attention, right? Y'all hear me talk about the hatcheries all the time. Let me pull it back up on the screen for y'all. Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. You hear me? The hatcheries, where humans are no longer born, they're grown, right? Just like in the Matrix. You hear me? Remember in the Matrix when they showed all the fields and the humans and the things? You did. Tap that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Remember when Morpheus was describing it to Neo? Huh? Is it starting to ring a bell to y'all now? You hear me? Remember in the Matrix? Hold on, let me get this picture for y'all. Let me pull this up on the screen for y'all real quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about, man. Remember the fields from the movie The Matrix? Right? All this stuff is connected, y'all. And Brave New World was the story of a society that was genetically modified, genetically grown. Humans did not produce by normal and natural means anymore. It was a caste system, much like the caste system that we have in India to this day. right? And guess what? The caste system was named. Guess what were the names of the caste system? Right? See that? You see the imagery? Where they're mixing stuff together to grow babies in test tubes and grow them and stuff. They're not born anymore by natural means, by a man and a woman getting together and having sex with each other and girl getting pregnant and having, no, they were grown in what they call the hatcheries. Right? This is crazy stuff right here, man. You hear me? And just like in the Matrix, they explained it in the Matrix too, how humans were plugged into the Matrix and they was being used for their energy, but in return for their energy, right, to power the Matrix, they were being fed a digital, holographic, illusory, electronic reality for life, thinking that it is real. Pay attention to that, man, right? Now here we have Brave New World, where people are being grown in labs. Right? People being grown in labs, man, called hatcheries. This is what they got planned, man. Whether y'all want to believe it or not is irrelevant. This is what's going on right now. Y'all done seen the stuff on Facebook that I've seen too, where they had the thing promoting the damn baby embryo chambers. The human embryo chambers. Y'all remember when they was posting that stuff on Facebook a couple years ago? Huh? Y'all better pay attention to this stuff, man. Exactly, Lance Parker. Shout out to my brother Lance Parker for being a brother who does his due diligence. All right. Look at these images. All right. This is basically what Brave New World was promoting in the book. You know, it was a society that was ran by a regime, a totalitarian regime, much like the one in 1984. But the focus of this society in this novel was to control population through genetic selection and a caste system. Right? And guess what the caste system was? Guess what were the names of the different levels of the caste system? Huh? Guess what they was? I'm about to show y'all right now. Let me pull it up on the screen for y'all. Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Y'all ain't gonna get this type of game nowhere else, man. I ain't gonna break this stuff down to y'all like this, man. All right. Right. Y'all see it on the screen? Yeah, y'all see it on the screen. Y'all see that on the screen? Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, 5 caste systems. We have Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and Epsilon. Notice that Sigma isn't in there, right? Huh? Right now, the colors that the Alphas wore was gray. Alphas are top of the system, intellectually superior and destined to become leaders and thinkers. They have more freedom and individuality because they are not mass produced from clones. Right? Think about what I just said, y'all. Oh, yeah, we about to get to it. Right? So who y'all think the Alphas is? And y'all call yourselves alpha male. I don't identify with such titles. I think that shit is corny, personally. Especially seeing how everybody don't really understand what this stuff is. And the very fact that these words, let me come up for this, y'all, because this is game right here. This is wisdom and game right here, right? It's very odd to me at this point in time on YouTube, especially in the so-called black sector of YouTube, where this bullshit fake ass gender war going on, where certain words are being put into the vernacular and the lexicon. Words like alpha, beta, right? So think about what I'm talking about when I'm referencing this book, Brave New World, right? Now, in the caste system of Brave New World, which is very much similar to what, or should I say, is what the system over there in India, the caste system in India, was basically built off of this structure right here, or vice versa, right? Now let's get back to it. Now we had the next level after alpha was betas. Now notice they said that the alphas, they have more freedom and individuality because they are not mass produced from clones. Keep that in mind. So now the next level under, we have beta. Like alphas, betas are not mass produced and have more freedom and individuality, most likely to work in places needing high technical skill, live to satisfy their desires. Right? Now the next level under beta, we have gamma. And they wore green. Gammas are nice and polite, but ultimately stupid, most likely to be in service roles. Right? How many of us fit into the gamma category? I know I have at one point in time. Right? Shit, you could even probably say that now. Shit, according to Brave New World, right? Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Share your social engineering, tap in and walk with us. We breaking down Brave New World, man. Ain't nobody doing this on YouTube, on the internet, man. Breaking down these dystopian, supposedly utopian novels that's supposed to be depicting these realities and societies that are somehow beneficial to us as a human race, but they absolutely are not, right? We have the next level after gamma, which is delta. Their color was khaki that they wore. Deltas are docile and eager consumers, reprogrammed to dislike books and flowers. They are skillful in making things. Now think about what this is talking about right here with this whole situation right here. Right? Now I'm about to bring some to y'all's awareness that y'all might not even be thinking of right now. In the very last system caste was the epsilon caste. Notice it's black. We got Nachimi Agape in the building. What's up, girl? How you doing? Yeah, we getting straight to it. Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. I just laid foundation earlier with him, George Orwell, real name Eric Blair, his brother, older brother Julian Huxley, who's the older brother of Aldous Huxley, who wrote this book. We're talking about Julian Huxley was a eugenicist / biologist / biochemist / futurist, right? He wrote this book, Brave New World, his little brother Aldous did, and Julian Huxley is a founding member of UNESCO, right? And if y'all pay attention to the very lowest caste, the last caste, it is epsilon. Notice that it is black. Imagery is powerful, y'all, man. You hear me? Imagery is very, very powerful. So powerful, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Right? Epsilons are lowest. They can't read or write, are extremely obedient, and destined to perform menial labor. Notice two things about epsilon stage. You're short, you're small, and you're black. That's the ill paradigm right there, man. You hear me? Notice this, that the epsilons are black, or we're black. Right? Thanks everybody for coming out tonight, man. We appreciate y'all being the bit. We're gonna get to it, man. Now listen. This book is deep. Now think about what I just said, y'all. Think about how they throwing these words into the lexicon, man. Alpha, beta. Think how they already been through the Black Greek letter fraternal organizations. So they when they started opening up colleges and stuff to black people, and as far as publicly, you know what I mean? A lot of these how can I say, man? A lot of these guys who went to these schools, they were agent provocateurs, man. You hear me? And when you remember all these secret organizations, man, you hear me? This stuff plays out in society in numerous ways. So when we're thinking about alpha and beta, and I say that because a lot of these fraternal organizations use these letters from out the Greek alphabet. Alpha, beta, sigma, gamma, delta, epsilon. These are fraternal words deriving from Freemasonry, right? Think about when I be talking to you about the Divine Nine. Alpha, beta, sigma. Right? Alpha, phi alpha. Right? Beta, sigma, sigma, delta. Right? Y'all better pay attention to this stuff. You got to connect the dots on this stuff, man. You hear me? And this was the caste system in the dystopian society of Brave New World. And mind you, y'all, let me come up for this, man. Just like in India, in Indian culture over there in India, they have a caste system in India. We're about to get to that, right? Once you are put in a certain caste, you are going to be in that caste for the rest of your life. An epsilon could never aspire to become an alpha. Once you were, and now mind y'all, I say this, now keep in mind, y'all, in the Brave New World, humans weren't born by natural means. They were grown and manufactured in labs called hatcheries, right? The hatcheries, man. Yeah, man, hit that like button, y'all, man. We're going to do this master, I'm going to say master, but this extreme teaching. You hear me? Breaking down a Brave New World. So think about how these words have been put in our lexicon since time immemorial. So, and I bring significance to the word, you know what I'm saying? Slip, you know, I bring significance to what I'm saying because this all connects. You know, putting these words in the lexicon and syncing and linking us with what they actually mean, especially when you think about stories like Brave New World, where, like I said, humans weren't born by natural means, but they were grown, manufactured in labs called hatcheries, which means that when you were made to be an alpha or you were manufactured as a sigma or whatever, that's what you were for life. You couldn't graduate from a beta to an alpha or from a from an epsilon to anything above. You would be an epsilon for the rest of your life because that's what you were literally genetically designed and modified to do, be manual labor. Think about what that means in connection to our current society, right? I keep telling y'all to go do some research into these books and go get these books and read them, man. If you got the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you know what this book is all about when you read it. Right? Notice it said clones. Right? I'm going to read that one more time for y'all for the alphas. Alphas are top of the system, intellectually superior, and desired to become leaders and thinkers. They have more freedom and individuality because they are not mass produced from clones. Now, pay attention to this part of this right here, y'all. They have more freedom and individuality because they are not mass produced from clone. Look, individuality is a right. You have a right to have your individuality, right? This is crazy, man, right? So basically, this color is gray, but you know, when we look at that, we see what it is. And epsilon could never aspire to become an alpha. Once you are epsilon, delta, gamma, beta, right? You can never aspire to become an alpha. A beta could never aspire to become an alpha. A gamma can't even aspire to become a beta or alpha. Epsilon is basically an epsilon forever. You are a delta forever. You are a gamma or a beta or alpha forever. Y'all understand this, man? Y'all understand this is diabolical in its design and how it plays out in our current society? We got Aldous Huxley writing this book while he was in roommates at Eton University with George Orwell. Exactly. Exactly, Nachimi. Right? Which one do y'all fall in? That's my question. That's my question to y'all, man. Which category do you fall in? Right? And we defend free thought over here with our very lives. Right? Now, Brave New World is set in a society where it's ran by the same, like I said, the same type of government as in 1984. But the focus of this novel is eugenics. So she said, I never read this book. She said, I never read this book, but wasn't there a movie called The Brave New World with Mel Gibson? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. If it was, I'm not familiar. I'm not aware. I'm not privy to it. So somebody can hop on that old Googler and Google that real quick. Yeah, I keep telling y'all that freedom of speech, which is a direct result of our freedom to think, is under attack on all levels, and we must defend it, y'all. I've been telling y'all this for years. We must defend it at all costs, no matter what the consequences may be when they come. Oh, and they're going to come. But if we stand in solidarity with each other, support each other, put up each other on game about this stuff, so when we do get confronted, we can verbally eviscerate and annihilate them with nothing but the facts and the truth. And we would dare people to call us anti-Semitic or any other slur they could think of or muster to call us that ain't got no validity in what it means in reference to us, right? A squat, I'm going to read y'all a little bit of this first selection, though. A squat gray building of only 34 stories over the main entrance of the words Central London Hatchery and Conditioning Center. That's exactly what's going on with them. That's why we're having the show tonight. Tap in. A gray building, a squat gray building of only 34 stories. Over the main entrance, the words Central London Hatchery Conditioning Center. Pay attention to the language, y'all. And in a shield, the world state's motto: community, identity, stability. Right? The enormous room on the ground floor faced towards the north. Cold for all the summer beyond the panes, for all the tropical heat of the room left itself, a harsh, thin light glared through the windows, hungrily seeking one draped lay figure, some pallid shape of academic goose flesh, but finding only the glass and nickel bleakly shining porcelain of a laboratory. Winteriness responded to winteriness. The overalls of the workers were white, their hands gloved with a pale, corpse-colored rubber. The light was frozen, dead, and ghost. Only from the yellow barrels of the microscopes did it borrow a certain rich and living substance, lying along the polished tubes like butter, streak after luscious streak in long recessions down the work tables. This is describing the depiction of everybody queuing in to go to work at the hatcheries. And this, said the director, opening the door, is the fertilizing room. So they're clearly giving a tour of the hatcheries. Bent over their instruments, 300 fertilizers were plunged as the director of hatcheries and conditioning entered the room. In the scarcely breathing silence, the absent-minded soliloquizing hum or whistle of absorbed concentration. A troop of newly arrived students, very young, pink, and callow, followed nervously, rather abjectly, at the director's heels. Each of them carried a notebook in which, whenever the great man spoke, he desperately scribbled. Straight from the horse's mouth. It was a rare privilege. The DHC for Central London always made a point of personally conditioning his new students around the various departments. Right? Just to give you a general idea, he would explain to them. For, of course, some sort of general idea they must have if they were to do their work intelligently, though as little of one, if they were to be good and happy members of society as possible. For particulars, as everyone knows, make for virtue and happiness. Generalities generalities are intellectually necessary evils, not philosophers, right? But fret sawyers. That's a different word. I never heard that word before. Fret sawyers. What's a fret sawyer? Hold on, I'm about to look that up. And stamp collections or stamp collectors compose the backbone of society. Tomorrow, he would add, smiling at them with a slightly menacing geniality, you'll be settling down to serious work. You won't have time for generalities. Meanwhile, it was a privilege. Straight from the horse's mouth into the notebook, the boy scribbled like mad. Tall and rather thin but upright, the director advanced into the room. He had a long chin and big, rather prominent teeth, just covered when he was not talking, by his full, floridly curved hips. Oh, young 30, 50, 55, it was hard to say. And anyhow, the question didn't rise. In this year of stability, AF 632, it didn't occur to you to ask. I shall begin at the beginning, said the DAC, and the more zealous students recorded the intention in their notebooks. Begin at the beginning. These, he would wave his hand, are the incubators, and opening an insulated door, he showed them racks upon racks of numbered test tubes. The week's supply of ova. Do y'all hear this, man? The week's supply of ova, right? And I ain't talking about the takeover. I'm talking about ova, female reproduction system, right? I'm going to start from the top. Still learning against the incubators he gave them. Oh, hold on. That's not okay. A week's supply of ova kept, he explained, at blood heat, whereas the male gametes, and here he opened another door, they have to be kept at 35 instead of 37. Full blood heat fertilizers, rams wrapped in thermal gear, beget no limbs. So I've been sitting here telling y'all about this stuff for I don't know how long, man. And this is what's coming. This is why they're coming up with transhumanism. They're going to have levels to us, man. It ain't designed for us. Why you think they pushing this vegan thing, man? This is going to slowly but surely in the next couple of generations wean us off from eating actual natural food to eating everything we consume is genetically modified, even us, right? Think about that, man. You hear me? Brave new world, man. It's a brave new world out there, y'all. Still leaning against the incubators he gave them while the pencils scurry allegedly across the pages. A brief description of the modern fertilizing process spoke first, of course, of its surgical introduction, the operation undergone voluntarily for the good of society, not to mention the fact that it carries a bonus amounting to 6 months' salary. So even in this novel was big business, getting in the cloning and the genetic manipulation and modification industry, right? The operation undergone voluntarily for the good of society, not to mention the fact that it carries a bonus amount to 6 months' salary. Continued with some account of the technique for preserving the excised ovary alive and actively developing, passed on to a consideration of optimum temperature, salinity, viscosity, referred to the liquor in which the detached and ripened eggs were kept, and leading his charges toward the table, actually showed them how this liquor was drawn off from the test tubes, how it was let out drop by drop onto the specially warm sides of the microscopes, how the eggs which it contained were inspected for abnormalities, counted and transferred to a porous receptacle, how, and he now took them to watch the operation, this receptacle was immersed in a warm bouillon containing free-swimming spermatozoa at a minimum concentration of 100,000 per cubic centimeter, he insisted, and how after 10 minutes, this is crazy, man, describing the whole demo at the hatcheries, right? Container was lifted out of the liquor and its contents re-examined how, if any of the eggs remained fertilized, it was again immersed, and if necessary yet again, how the fertilized ova went back to the incubators, where the alphas and betas remained until definitely bottled. While the gammas, deltas, and epsilons were brought out again after only 36 hours to undergo Brokhanovsky's process. Right? What's he say? He said, oh my God, yes, people need to look up what a terrestrial ecosystem and terrestrial transportation is and know they are talking about you in reference to terrestrial. Exactly. Right? Terrestrial, original, when you break down the etymology of the word terrestrial to this Latin Vulgate's origin, it means body. Right? Or even more so, body image. You know what I'm talking about, Nachimmy, man? Shout out to Nachimmy in the chat, y'all. Right? Brokhanovsky's process, repeated the director, and the students underlined the words in their little notebooks. 1 egg, 1 embryo, 1 adult, normality. Let me repeat that. 1 egg, 1 embryo, 1 adult, normal. That's normal. But what is that? 1 egg, 1 embryo, 1 embryo, 1 adult, normality. But a Brokhanovskified egg will bud, will proliferate, will divide from 8 to 96 buds, and every bud will grow into a perfectly formed embryo, and every embryo into a full-sized adult, making 96 human beings grow where there were only 1 grew before. Progress. Really? Right? So if y'all could just hear what I'm reading right now, man, this book is basically a book that's talking about what's going on now, depicting what's going on right now. I keep telling y'all when it comes to this transhumanism thing, man, transgenderism is the gateway to transhumanism. Yeah. Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell and subscribe to the page. You hear me? So y'all keep in mind when y'all be using them words, man, beta and alpha, and you know, got chicks on here talking about sigmas and all that stuff. That's a caste system. A system of slavery, manipulation, and control. Because once you were born into a certain caste, you could never aspire to get past your caste with your ass. You know what I'm talking about, man? That's crazy, man. I don't think I want to live in no society like that. Right? Now, we got to get into it and lay some more foundation and connect some dots, because this very system is still alive today in India. Very much so. Very much so. Right? Very much so. And this is after this whole system is demonic and satanic, y'all. I kept telling y'all this, man. Keep telling y'all, man, this is very, very disturbing, man. And you wonder why people be trying to get the hell up out of India. We got the Brahmins, which are the priests and the teachers. We got the Kshatriyas, warriors and rulers. Me, right? Vaishyas. What's that? Yeah, Vaishyas, farmer, traders, and merchants. Shudras, laborers, and Dalitas, outcasts. Street sweepers, latrine cleaners. Damn. Man. India's caste system is among the world's oldest forms of surviving social stratification. The BBC explains its complexities. And he's interviewing a guy named Mansumriti. Right? Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. You know what I'm talking about? We going in over here, man. She said, yes, it is. Let's not forget the VP, Kamala Harris, is half Indian Pacific Islander of the plot. Yeah. She ain't even really from here for real. You know what I'm talking about? India's caste system is among the world's oldest forms of surviving social stratification. The BBC explains the complexity. The system which divides Hindus, right, into rigid hierarchical groups based on their karma, their work, and dharma, the Hindi word for religion, but here it means duty, is generally accepted to be more than 3,000 years old. So this caste system been around for a real long time, right? Manusmriti, widely regarded to be the most important and authoritative book of Hindu law and dating back to at least 1,000 years before Christ was born, acknowledges and justifies the caste system as the basis of order and regularity of society. The caste system divides Hindus into four major categories: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and the Shudras. Many believe that the groups originated from Brahma, the Hindu god of creation. Not really. They ain't come from him. Hit that like button, y'all. Hey, listen, man. Brave new world. We get straight to it, man. Right? The caste system divides Hindus into four major categories: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and the Shudras. Many people believe that the groups originated from Brahma, the Hindu god of creation. At the top of the hierarchy were the Brahmins, who were mainly teachers and intellectuals and are believed to have come from Brahma's head. Then came, okay. Okay. Y'all see it, man. This is crazy, man, for real. Right? I was sitting here telling y'all to go get both of these books for a long time, man. For a long time coming, man. You hear me? At the top of the hierarchy were the Brahmins, who were mainly teachers and intellectuals and are believed to have come from the Brahma's head. Then came the Kastrias, or the warriors and rulers, supposedly from his arms. The third slot went to the Vaishyas, or the traders, who were created from his thighs. At the bottom of the heap were the Shudras, who came from Brahma's feet and did all the menial jobs. The main castes were further divided into about 3,000 castes and 25,000 subcastes, each based on their specific occupation. Outside of this Hindu caste system were the Alkahuts, or the Achuts, the Dalits, or the Untouchables. It's crazy, man. For centuries, caste has dictated almost every aspect of Hindu religious and social life, with each group occupying a specific place in this complex hierarchy. Rural communities have long been arranged on the basis of caste, and the upper and lower caste almost always lived in segregated colonies. The water wells were not shared. Brahmins would not accept food or drink from the Shudras, and one could marry only within one's caste. Right. The system bestowed many privileges on the upper caste while sanctioning repression of the lower caste by privileged groups. Often criticized for being unjust and regressive, it remained virtually unchanged for centuries, trapping people into fixed social orders from which it was impossible to escape. Now, remember what I said up there and told y'all, man. You are Epsilon for life, man. You hear me? According to these India caste system, right? Despite the obstacles, however, some Dalits and other low-caste Indians, such as B.R. Ambedkar, who authored the Indian Constitution, and K.R. Narayanan, who became the nation's first Dalit president, I have risen to hold prestigious positions in this country, right? Basically saying that these people, Indian people, they starting to have positions in our country and stuff, and trying to take it back home or something like that. I might be even inflating what he said. He might not have said that. Fair use, allegedly, right? Historians, though, say that until the 18th century, the formal distinctions of caste were of limited importance to Indians. Social identities were much more flexible, and people could move easily from caste to another. New research shows that hard boundaries were set by British colonial rulers. And let's see. Y'all, this is just, I mean, the more I do this research, and I just be like, wow, man. You hear me? In recent decades, with the spread of secular education, growing urbanization, the influence of caste has somewhat declined, especially in cities where different castes live side by side, and intercaste marriages are becoming more common. So I think they mean by intercom. In certain southern states and in the northern state of Bihar, many people began using just one name after social reforming movements. Despite the changes, though, caste identities remain strong, and last names are almost always indications of what caste a person belongs to. Man, listen here, y'all, man. We talking about this book, Brave New World. You hear me, man? And this book tells the story of this caste system, right? Who works or is telling about what's going on over here at the hatcheries, right? Full-blown genetic modification and manipulation, right? Notice the image on the front, y'all. Right. That's a pretty prolific and profound cover. Because notice that the torso and the head is gone. It's just arms and legs. with the little gears grinding around it, right? So that means that they are manufacturing humans, specifically since the head is not there, human thought or masculine manly thought, right? Yeah, y'all quit identifying with stuff that don't really speak for who you are. And know the difference between who you are and what you are, right? And I strongly suggest that y'all go read this book. You hear me? Right? And like I say, y'all, right? Like I always say, y'all, man, we got to connect the dots, man. Julian Huxley is this dude's older brother. Aldous Huxley was all on board, whereas at some point, I think, now this ain't no facts. I ain't got nothing to back this up, but this is what I think, though. George Orwell was coming from a place of warning, right? Versus Aldous Huxley coming from a place of what's to come. And, just basically when I tell y'all about predictive programming and preemptive programming, right? Because it's very similar to the story of Yakub, all right? Yakub was a eugenicist, biochemist, biologist. You hear me? He was all of that stuff. If you're familiar with the story of Yakub, right? Which is not the Yakub out of the word, out of the scriptures. Don't get that messed up either. You hear me? Hit that like button, y'all, man. Right? So I want y'all to go get this goddamn book, man. You hear me? I want y'all to go get this book and read it. You hear me? Aldous Huxley wrote this book not as a warning, not as to let us know what's to come, right? But to basically let us know that this is their agenda, and they're smack dab throwing it right in our face back in 1932, right? All the way back in 1932, they're throwing this in our face, basically telling us that we are genetically modifying y'all. Y'all are slaves. In 1984, they called to the lower caste in the society pros, short for proletariat, right? They basically throwing stuff like this in our face and telling us, like, y'all slaves, we don't need y'all to reproduce. We can grow y'all. And we really don't need a lot of y'all because that costs money. You know how much money it costs to house 8-something billion humans today on this planet? You did. Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell. Subscribe to the page, man. You know what I'm talking about? We going in, man. You hear me? We're going all the way in, right? We can skip all this, man. I'm going to skip all of this, right? But listen to this right here, y'all. This is ill right here. You hear me? Mr. Foster was left in the decanting room. The DHC and his students stepped into the nearest lift, or the nearest elevator, right? And were carried up to the 5th floor. Infant nurseries, neo-Pavlovian conditioning rooms, announced the notice board. Now let me stop it right there and repeat that, y'all. Is the way, oh my gosh. Tap in though, y'all, right? Infant nurseries, neo-Pavlovian conditioning rooms, announced the notice board. The director opened the door. They were in a large, bare room, very bright and sunny, for the whole of the southern wall was a single window. half a dozen nurses trousered and jacketed in the regulation white viscous linen uniform, right? Their hair aesthetically hidden under white caps were engaged in setting out bowls of roses in a long row across the floor. Big bowls packed tight with blossom. Thousands of petals, ripe, blown, and silky smooth, like the cheeks of innumerable little cherubs, but of cherubs in that bright light, not exclusively pink and Aryan, but also luminously Chinese, also Mexican, also apoplectic with too much blowing of celestial trumpets, and the pale as death, pale with posthumous witness of marble. The nurses stiffened to attention at the DAC came in, set the outbooks, he said currently. In silence, the nurses obeyed his command. Between the rose bowls and books were duly set out, a row of nursery quarters open invitingly, each at some gaily covered image of a beast or fish or bird. Right. Now, if y'all pay attention to what I just was reading, man, this is what it was describing what the nurseries look like in the hatchery and the babies when they sitting in these nurseries and the hatcheries, man. They came up with a process that they didn't need men to reproduce, right? And think about, and I want to talk about this book to bring up a lot of stuff. This is the transhumanism agenda right here. Y'all hear me talk about transhumanism all the time. You feel me? How many of y'all are familiar with what transhumanism is? All right. This is a branch of technocracy, right? Yes, a branch of technocracy, right? Transhumanism is the merging of human biology with unintelligent artificial intelligence technology, right? And this is the stuff they're talking about right now and been doing. Now think about when I show y'all that video of them Boston Dynamics robots doing backflips and floor routine gymnastic exercises. Think about when I talk about genetic modification, when I talk about human brain computer interfacing. That's what this is all about. And the society in the Brave New World depicted such a society, right? Now, tap in and walk with me, y'all. Hit that like button, man. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page and all of that, man. Now, like I told y'all, when it comes to transhumanism, transgenderism is being used as a weapon to disguise while bringing in transhumanism and then syncing and connecting the two, right? Now, when you're thinking about that, I want you to think very, very critically about it, man. I don't want you to think deeply. I want you to think critically. You know what I'm saying? Stop thinking deeply and think critically, y'all. Which is to think openly, right? Genetic modification, cloning, right? Gene selection. This is all the stuff that they got going on now, y'all, right? All this stuff they got going on now, right? All this stuff they got going on now, y'all. Talking about enhancing us. Talking about making us better, right? Talking about syncing and linking us with the unintelligent artificial intelligence through platforms like the metaverse. You know what I mean? Think about when I talk about human brain computer interfacing, y'all. All right. Think about that. Think about this, y'all. Human brain computer interfacing, right? When you have genetically modified humans, that means they are manufactured. That means they can be, right? That means they can be biologically enhanced, right? That means they can be made to perform and do certain jobs. Remember I told you about compartmentalization and how the different compartments can be programmed, what they call alters, short for altered states of awareness or reality. Think about how all this stuff can, I know it may seem like I'm jumping around, but connect the dots, y'all, man, through this novel, Brave New World. This is where transhumanism is leading to. This is why it's so much stuff going on. This is why they're coming for kids. This is why specifically, especially Black women are at risk when they give birth in the hospital, right? This is why so many young people come up missing. They be experimenting out their ass, man. You hear me? Super experimenting, man. And this is what Brave New World was all depicting and leading to. You know what I'm saying? When you read this book, the whole premise of it is a society where all the humans are controlled through a caste system where once you were allotted this caste, this is what you were for life. And you did the task of that role. If you were Epsilon and you were, you basically resorted to being a worker for the rest of your life, and you dumb as shit and don't know nothing. You don't question nothing. You don't challenge anything. You just do what you're told. You just go to work and you just do what you're told. Most of these people in this novel, the Epsilons, are the ones that did the manual labor and the hard labor in the hatcheries. Right? And through human brain computer interfacing, right? Once they have all these genetically modified humans, transhumanism, they can manufacture them to be able to accept you know what I'm talking about, y'all. Connect the dots, y'all. Connect the dots. You hear me? Connect the dots on this stuff, man. Read this book, Brave New World. Right? Now think about this whole thing with the transgenderism, right? Pause, y'all, man. Just pause, man. Just bear with me, man. We got to go through this, man. We got to go through the uncomfortable stuff, man. Right? Transgenderism, which is really a gateway to transhumanism, right? Think about the breaking up of the psyche, like I just was talking about with altered states of awareness, man. Through compartmentalization, come from trauma-based mind control or epigenetically passed down trauma, right? When you tell people that they can be a girl and they're really a boy, or a boy that can be a girl and that, I want y'all to understand how this breaks the psyche up. This is psychologically preparing the mind, right? The psychologically preparing the mind, you hear me, to function in a certain way. So when it comes to the metaverse coming in, y'all, when it comes to the smart grid coming in, you hear me, you'll be that more susceptible to sync and leak with it through the metaverse, because you have already physically in the so-called real world damaged your psyche to the point to where you already put yourself subject to that frequency of that energy. So when you get a bunch of people who want to be girls and they're boys, and boys that want to be girls, this will be also contributing to the depopulation agenda, because these people can't have children. Oh, but contrary, they're doing demon time sex, biological manipulation magic by saying that men can now give birth to children by placing a womb into a man. Now that's just some diabolical, demonic shit right there, man. Much like what LGBTQ LMNOP is. And I'm not afraid to say that because that's what it is. And I'll tell them to their face, right? It is demonic to tell a little child that they can be something other than what they actually are. And to make them believe that and indoctrinate them into believing that and then penalizing parents for saying something different. And that's what Aldous Huxley was talking about in Brave New World. It was literally depicting the society, the very society where transhumanism is so rampant that humans aren't born by natural means anymore. Right? So y'all got to connect the dots, man, on the whole transgenderism and the incoming transhumanism. Transgenderism is really transhumanism. Getting the psyche prepared for genetic modification and manipulation. Because they're selling it to us as if this stuff is going to somehow enhance us, make us better. And I told y'all about y'all homeboy Elon Musk. Elon Musk wants us to be synced and linked to the smart grid, which is why he buying Twitter and now talking about buying Facebook and media platforms, because he has the technology through his human brain computer interfacing to go along with Zuckerberg's Oculus and they're coming together to bring the metaverse in. I'm sitting here trying to tell y'all what's going on, man. Pay attention, man. That's why y'all need to read books like Brave New World. So y'all can see where this stuff is going, man. And if you want a good depiction of what a caste society is, go study the history of India. And to this very day, they operate under this caste system. Because like I said, once you were placed in a certain caste, that was your role in life until you died. You couldn't be anything else other than an epsilon if you were made and manufactured an epsilon. You couldn't be a gamma or a delta or a beta or an alpha. And if you were an alpha, that's what you were for life. If you were a beta, that's what you were for life. And like I said, connect the dots around the other end. See how they put in these words in the lexicon. Alpha, beta. Syncing and linking your brain already with these words. So when they start bringing this transhumanism in, genetic modification, caste systems, you're psychologically going to be already subject and prepared to receive it. Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell and subscribe to the page. Right? Ain't nobody going to break this stuff down like this, man. And put y'all up on game like this when it comes to this stuff, man. You hear me? It's a very crazy situation with this whole transhumanism thing. Y'all hear me talk about this all the time. Right? They selling this stuff too. It's like I say, like it's going to enhance us. Body modification. You see how we already be desensitized to it? Y'all don't even realize on what levels we being desensitized to this stuff. Right? You gotta be able to peep game. Right? Even when it comes to this right here with y'all chicks. Even when it comes to getting the BBL. Right? Even when it comes to getting the BBL surgery. This plays a part in this as well. And I want y'all to be able to coordinate and connect how stuff like this is an example of what I'm talking about concerning Brave New World. This is already getting us psychologically prepared to upgrade our bodies, enhance our bodies physically. Now we get into enhancing our bodies digitally, holographically, electronically, through the metaverse. And this is why all this stuff is happening, because it's like I said, it's breaking up the psyche, getting the psyche psychologically and perceptually prepared to be in these very types of societies. And this is why I tell y'all and strongly suggest to y'all, go read these books. Because they're telling the story of what's happening currently. Now, mind you, Brave New World was written in 1932. You know what I'm saying? So this book is 80 years old, 90 years old. So like I said, it's no mistake. It ain't no coincidence that at the same time they bringing in this transhumanist thing, they talking about this anti-Semitism thing too. Y'all gotta be able to see how all this stuff fits together. You gotta be able to connect the dots on this stuff. At the very same time, like I said, they're bringing this stuff in and they're putting this stuff into the public perception. So it's already in your psyche, in your so-called subconscious. So when these societies, when these types of societies begin to emerge and start to show their face in our actual reality, we don't be like sensory overload, so to speak. You are already been perceptually desensitized and preemptively programmed to experience this very thing. All right, and I want y'all to understand how all of this stuff fits together. So hit that like button, man. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, tap in and walk with us. Questions, comments, please. You hear me? I'm going to go ahead and do this, man. You hear me? I'm going to go ahead and drop the link, man. Anybody want to ask some questions, ask me a question or anything. I know that y'all might got some questions. Ask questions. You understand what I'm saying, man? I want y'all to go get this book, Brave New World. I only paid $16 for this book. You hear me? And they try to sell us these books as if they're fiction or they're figment of these guys' imagination or their creativity, when they're actually depicting the very society that we are experiencing and coming into right now. Right? Why you think they doing all this stuff with abortion? Huh? Why do you think they showing us this technology where they can physically, physiologically, biologically enhance humans? And it starts with these surgeries, BBLs, breast implants, rhinoplasties, any type of surgery that can enhance your looks. You got dudes getting fake pecs surgically implanted into them. Nothing's real anymore. Alexander Gamboa, what's good? You hear me? I want y'all to be able to connect the dots on this stuff, man, and see how all this stuff fits together, y'all. You know what I mean? We are being preemptively programmed, predictively programmed. Y'all know what predictive programming is? And this was going on with this stuff. And I need y'all to go, or should I say, I want y'all to read Brave New World in 1984, because these are two novels written over 70 years ago. Brave New World 90 years ago. Right? So y'all can have a more in-depth over, inner, outer understanding of what's going on in our current society. And what y'all going to come to find is that these two novels, these two quintessential, very important novels, depict the very society that people who run this reality actually want it to be. Right? They don't want humans to be reproducing. They want to be able to control the population. And this is what all this stuff with the abortion is. Abortion is population control. It's not healthcare, it's population control. In a caste system, nobody has to worry about being anything more than what they were manufactured to be. They don't even question it. In the book Brave New World, epsilons did not question why they were epsilons. They just performed the roles and duties of epsilon, and they did that until they died. So think about what that means, man. Think of the implications of what that means in actual time and actual reality right now, especially present day. Right. And like I said, all the stuff with the BBLs and all the body modifications, the tattoos everywhere, the piercings. Y'all remember that movie, The Ghost of Mars? With Ice Cube in it? Lugging all that. Brave New World, Aldous Huxley, y'all, man. Make sure y'all go get this book, man. You hear me? And like I said, y'all, I want y'all to be able to connect the dots on this stuff, man. I want y'all to be able to, when y'all see this stuff, because I'm telling you, when y'all go read this book especially, it's going to become so blatant to you when you see this stuff being talked about in the mainstream media. Not only that, it's going to really give you more clarity when you're going to be able to see how this stuff is implemented right now. The things that are contributing to this society coming into fruition. Literally everything that's going on now. Don't question anything. Why you think they letting everybody be so sexually free and sexually motivated, man? And by reading novels like Brave New World, you can see how the plan and plot is to especially come after the children. And I ain't talking about, of course, certain age groups with the children, but you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, 1984, Brave New World, 2 books y'all need to go get for sure. Y'all definitely need to go get these 2 books. And y'all need to read them. Y'all need to study them. You hear me? And it's going to give you a clear depiction of what is currently going on. And like I always say, shout out to my brother Larry Gary, we gotta have the testicular fortitude to talk about this stuff and break this stuff down and expose this stuff and connect and correlate seemingly unconnectable and correlating information, situations, groups, peoples, places, events. We have to be able to see how all of this stuff fits together. Because it's a mighty web that has been weaved. You hear me? But if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you can look right through it and you can see right through it. So it ain't no mistake or no reason that they wrote this book. It ain't no mistake or reason that, or happenstance that George Orwell and Aldous Huxley were college buddies, chums, roommates at Eton University, and then went on to join the FABAIN Society with each other. So, one guy was speaking from a perspective of, trying to warn us. The other guy was like, this is what's coming and, get prepared for it. And, I'm like, wait, putting on for it. So, yeah, man, you know what I mean? This is a crazy situation, y'all. We got to have the testicular fortitude to say what needs to be said, regardless of the consequences. We cannot allow ourselves to be acquiesced and complied into submission. Nah, we gotta go hammer on these dudes, man. We gotta pause. We gotta go hammer with this info and be able to stand in their face and smack them with the straight facts when they come trying to shut us down or whatever it is they may do. And when it comes to Brave New World, you know what I mean? Like I said, they want us to be genetically enhanced. I want y'all to understand what it means to be grown in a lab versus born through natural means, man. That means that they're going to have control over the way your DNA operates, the way your bodily functions move and groove through your body. Think about that. Think about what happens when you mass produce a product or overproduce a product. You're going to get mess ups, right? You're going to get defunct or you're going to get what's the word I'm looking for here, man? You're going to get damaged goods. No, Alexander Gandoa, I have not heard about that. Y'all. God damn, man. What my man Alexander Gambo said, heard about the earthquake in Italy, 6.1. Vatican is falling. Oh, yeah? Hold on. We got to go check that out right now. There's an earthquake at 6.1. Damn. Wow. Let's go to this real quick. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Hit that like button, man. See if I can find an image for y'all. Yeah, man. It's a crazy situation, y'all, for real, man. Let me see if I can find this image. Hold on, y'all. Give me a couple seconds. Not Italian priest blames earthquakes on gay civil unions. Damn. Oh, God, it got St. Peter's Basilica, too. Oh, let me see something real quick, y'all. Damn, man. That's not even, I guess it is, though. God damn, man. That's crazy right there. You hear me? But yeah, though, y'all, Brave New World. You hear me? Y'all seen it in the thumbnail. I'm going to put it on the screen. Brave New World. You know what I'm talking about? Go get it. Go cop it. Good book. Good read. Awesome read. A lot of jewels. A lot of game in there. You feel me? A lot of dots going to be connected when you read that book. You feel me? It's going to put into perspective a lot of things for you, especially considering and concerning how we view each other. We all are, you know, in the rat race, as we call it, right? This rat race called life. You hear me? We all is in this rat race called life. But we don't know to what ends we being used, man. What ends we being manipulated. You hear me? And when it comes to transhumanism, you know what I'm saying about, it is the rule for the day. As y'all can see. You know what I'm saying? We got to look at certain people out here, man. We got to start taking a look at certain people and analyzing and critiquing them, man. You feel me? Because they got very nefarious things that they want to do. You know what I mean? Like one of these guys who y'all really need to be looking out for is this guy right here. Y'all hear me talk about this dude all the time, too. This guy right here. Right? I keep telling you about this dude right here. Ray Kurzweil. He is the chief futurist at YouTube, Google, Alphabet. He's the chief futurist, right? And he speaks on something that is known in the arena of technocracy, in the arena of transhumanism, right? He's known for promulgating and talking about something that is known in such circles as the singularity. Right? Hold on real quick. Oh, I didn't even know he had this book out. Yeah, this book is old too. I'm gonna read this to y'all real quick. While futurists, yeah, and over here at Google, right? This guy Kurzweil at Google, he's called the chief futurist, right? While futurist Ray Kurzweil predicted 15 years ago that the singularity, the time when the abilities of a computer overtake the abilities of a human brain, really the singularity is the connection, right, of the human body with unintelligent artificial intelligence technology. That's really what the singularity is, right? While futurist Ray Kurzweil predicted 15 years ago that the singularity, the time when the abilities of a computer overtake the abilities of the human brain, will occur in about 2045, Gale and his co-authors believe this event may be much more imminent, especially with the advent of quantum computing. Actually, right? Actually, it's Agenda 20. The year is UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability. So the target year is 2030, right? Y'all better think about what I'm saying, man. Right? Connect the dots, y'all. This stuff is serious. This is why I say these two novels right here, man. Two novels that definitely need to be read, definitely need to be discussed, definitely need to be critiqued and broken down, and seeing how they match up to what's actually going on in our society. Right?
There are only about a dozen computers in all of New York City. Now we all carry multiple computers in our pockets and our belts. But computation is a lot more pervasive than these gadgets we carry around. Take this rock, for example.
Fair use.
Doesn't look like it's doing very much, but it has trillions of atoms and molecules in here. They're all moving around, bouncing against each other at incredibly high speeds. That's computation. That's not very useful today. It's organized kind of randomly. We can't communicate with it very well. But we're going to change that. We're going to reorganize the vast amount of computation in this rock to make it useful. And it won't just be raw computation. We'll infuse it with exquisitely intelligent software, vastly greater than our intelligence today, and with all the knowledge of the human-machine civilization. This rock is going to be a trillion times more powerful than all biological human brains today. This is going to be quite a valuable rock. We call matter and energy reorganized in this way computronium. We're going to reach these limits late in this century. And at that time, we're going to turn many of the rocks and other stuff suitable for computation into computronium. And so, to keep the...
So let me just stop that right there, man. Y'all ever heard of alchemy? Which is demon time, right? What Ray Kurzweil is talking about right now is digital holographic. You hear me? The digital holographic version of that, right? Of alchemy, right? Because with this type of technology, when it comes to the metaverse, y'all gotta keep the metaverse in the back of y'all's head. Y'all gotta keep the metaverse in y'all's mind, man. Think about this is where all the transhumanism, transgenderism is all leading to the metaverse. And I want y'all to be able to connect and correlate the dots on how everything we being hit with now is to psychologically, perceptually prepare us for the metaverse. Right? So do yourselves a favor and go get these books. Let's get back to this goofy dude, Ray Kurzweil.
The expansion of our intelligence going, we will then need to spread out to the rest of the universe, turning some portion of it into computronium. How fast can we do this? That depends on whether or not we can transcend or otherwise get around the speed of light as a limit. There are suggestions that there may be subtle ways of doing this. One possibility is to send intelligent nanobots through wormholes, which are basically shortcuts to apparently faraway places through other spatial dimensions beyond the three we're familiar with. Wormholes through space appear to be consistent with our understanding of physics. If it is indeed feasible to either find or build such wormholes, our intelligence will be so great that we'll be capable of engineering these shortcuts to reach other parts of the universe in brief periods of time. In that case, we could infuse the universe with our intelligence rather quickly. It would require only another century, that is, by the end of the 22nd century, to saturate the universe with computronium. On the other hand, if we can't get around the speed of light, it'll take a lot longer. But in either case, expanding our intelligence throughout the universe is our ultimate destiny. Cosmologists today argue about whether the universe will die in fire or ice. Fire means a big hot crunch, basically the opposite of the Big Bang. Ice means stars flying apart, eventually dying out. Both of these views of cosmology assume that intelligence has nothing to do with it, that intelligence is just a bit of entertaining froth that dances in and out of the dumb celestial forces that rule the universe. But this perspective ignores the law of accelerating returns. As a result of the exponential expansion of our knowledge and skill, the universe will ultimately be infused with computronium and with the vast intelligence of our human-machine civilization. So the universe will wake up, and we will intelligently decide its fate.
This guy, Ray Kurzweil, man. Y'all hear that, man? Y'all hear this guy, Ray Kurzweil? Now, what y'all see on the screen is what is known as an Einstein-Rosen bridge or a wormhole. Notice that Kurzweil talked about wormholes. Y'all hear me? Wormholes. Einstein-Rosen bridges. If y'all remember, if y'all ever seen the movie, right? If y'all ever seen the movie Thor Ragnarok. Hold on real quick, y'all. Hold on me. Hold on real quick. Oh, that's not it. Hold on real quick. I'm trying to get this video for y'all. Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. We getting in, we going in tonight, man.
It starts with a B.
Trash.
And when I spun.
Prepare yourself.
Oh! Loki. Ass! If you knew the great prophet.
Required.
Thor.
Access denied. Strongest Avenger.
What? Hey, let's do get help. No, come on. I hate it. It's great. It works every time. It's humiliating. Do you have a better plan? We are not. Doug, one of these. You're a scientist. Use one of your PhDs. None of them are for flying. Here, take the wheel. Just for once in your life.
Damn, man. Can't see that. I'm trying to find a certain scene for y'all where he maybe this is it. Oh, this is it right here. Yeah, this is it. Fair use.
Look, I've spent years in a haze.
Fair use.
It's a car seemed like the best place to drink and forget and to die one day.
I was thinking that you drink too much and it probably was going to kill you.
I don't plan to stop drinking.
Oh.
But I don't want to forget. I can't turn away anymore. So, if I'm going to die, well, it may as well be driving my sword through the heart of that murderous hag.
Good. Yeah.
So I'm saying that I want to be on the team. Has it got a name?
Yeah, it's called the Revenges.
Revenges?
Because I'm getting revenge. You're getting revenge. You're what are you on revenge?
I'm undecided.
Okay.
Also, I've got a peace offering.
Surprise!
Ow. Sad to be sure. Hello, Bruce.
So, last time I saw you, you were trying to kill everybody. Where are you at these days?
It varies from moment to moment. Is that a dragon thing?
It is.
Fair use. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page.
Our partisan ETON systems. Our best bet is a wormhole just outside of city limits. If you're on Xandar, we can be back in Asgard in 18 months.
Nope. We're going through the big one.
The devil's anus.
Hey? Wait, who's anus?
For the record, I didn't know it was called that when I picked it.
That looks like a collapsing neutron star inside of an Einstein-Rosen bridge.
We need
Huh?
another ship.
You hear what he said?
Neutron star inside of an Hey? Wait, who's anus?
For the record, I didn't know it was called that when I picked it.
That looks like a collapsing neutron star inside of an Einstein-Rosen bridge.
We need another ship. That will tear mine to pieces.
She's right. You need one that can withstand the geodetic strain from the singularity.
It has an offline power steering system that can also function without the onboard computer.
And we need one with cup holders because we're going to die, so...
Power steering system that can also...
One that can withstand the geodetic strain from
The bridge.
We need another...
called that when I picked it.
Back in Asgard in 18 months?
Nope. We're going through the big one.
The devil's anus.
Hey? Wait, who's anus?
For the record, I didn't know it was called that when I picked it.
That looks like a collapsing neutron star inside of an Einstein-Rosen bridge.
We need another ship. That will tear...
It looks like a collapsing neutron star in the Einstein-Rosen bridge. Right? That's what this is. Right? So I be telling y'all this stuff to watch these movies because these movies is telling us what's going on. You hear me? Yeah, y'all heard what my man Lance Parker said, man. Y'all heard what Lance Parker said, man. Hit that like button and subscribe. It's free, man. The like button ain't did the like nothing to you. The like button is your best friend, man. Hit that like button. Share on your social engineering. Click on the bell. Subscribe to the page. Tell everybody to come tap in. You're welcome. You're all welcome. You know what I'm talking about? Thank y'all for coming out tonight, man. I appreciate it, man. Tomorrow night is ladies' night. We're going to be getting into it. We're going to be discussing this chick, Tiffany Cross. And I know a lot of y'all want to come and tap in with that one, man. So we're going to be talking about old girl Tiffany Cross. You hear me? We're going to be getting into it tomorrow night for ladies' night. You know what I'm talking about? We definitely going in. You know what I mean? Definitely going in. We're going to break this down, man, because, all right. Yeah, tomorrow's oppressors become today's oppressors become tomorrow's victims. Featuring Tiffany Cross. Right? Hold on, I'm gonna have to go change the thumbnail. Hold on, what's going on? I'm gonna have to go change the thumbnail. Nachimi already said she ain't gonna miss that one. That's what's up, Nachimi. Make sure you tap in, man. I'm gonna change the thumbnail here when I get off, man. I thought I could have sworn the thumbnail was already on there. You know what I mean? I could have sworn the thumbnail was on there. Y'all know how these thumbnails be like. Sometimes they load up and sometimes they don't, man. You hear me? Let me go see. Let me see something real quick. Oh, no, I can still see it. It's all good. I ain't got to change it. But yeah, though, man, thank y'all for coming out tonight, man. Hit that like button on y'all's way out. Click on the bell. Subscribe to the page, man. We appreciate everybody coming through tonight. Hope y'all learned something. Go get the book. You know what I'm saying? Go get Brave New World. You know what I'm talking about? Go get it. You know what I'm saying? Go get Brave New World. Read it. Inform yourselves on what the transhumanism agenda is all about. You know what I'm saying? Read up on it so you can see and you know how they got to start using genetic manipulation, genetic modification to artificially grow children. We've already been preemptively programmed to this, right? In vitro fertilization, surrogates. Y'all better see how all this stuff fits together, man. You hear me? Thank y'all for coming out tonight, man. For real, I appreciate it, man. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, man. But y'all right here with me, man, and I absolutely appreciate that. I love that, man. Thank you, man. You hear me? Like I said, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineering. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. I appreciate all of y'all coming out tonight, for real. I really do. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate everybody. Y'all make sure y'all click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Like that, hit that like button and all of that. We about to get up out of here, man. I'm gonna leave y'all with I'm gonna play L song again from last night, man. I thought that track was dope, man. I'm about to play that again. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to play my brother King L's. I'm about to play his track. You hear me? E&E in the building, man. Click on the like button, y'all. Share, like. Share, like. Tell everybody come tap in and walk with us, man. Tell everybody come tap in and walk with us. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful situation. We appreciate everybody coming out. You know what I'm talking about? We appreciate everybody coming out, man. You hear me? Don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever get it messed up. Don't ever get it confused. You feel me? None of that stuff, man. We goes in over here. You know what I'm saying? We break down things in ways that nobody else is going to break them down. We get right to it. You know what I'm saying? Discuss Brave New World tonight. Hope y'all go get the book, read it for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, let me go get a better version of this, y'all. Hold on. Hope you all get the book, go read it, and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It's a very good read. It's easy to read. You know what I mean? It ain't got a whole bunch of big dumbass words in there to make you want to put the book down. You know what I'm saying? You said all that with that big ass word just to say, like, you know. Yeah, man. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight, man. We appreciate it. We really do. That's not it. I'm trying to find a good picture for y'all. Anyway, y'all see the thumbnail, man. Y'all see the thumbnail, man. You feel me? We about to leave off with my brother King Els. He just dropped this song last night. It's called Illusion. Thank everybody for coming out, tapping in with us. You know what I'm saying? Tapping in and walking with us. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate when everybody come through and listen and tap in with us and get their opinions and tap in, add to the conversation. You know what I mean? We absolutely love and respect that. Please keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all come tap in with us every night. We going in 9 p.m. except for on Sundays. We're going in at 8. You know what I'm talking about? We're going in at 8. Yeah, man. Thanks everybody for coming out, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to get a picture for y'all, man. Hold on. I want to pull up a nice picture for y'all, man. That's not, and this is not it. Right? I think this is going to be a decent picture for y'all. Yeah, here y'all go right here, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page on your way out, man. Make sure y'all go cop this book, Brave New World, man. So y'all can be put up on game on how they was doing transhumanism, upgrading, cloning. All this stuff was going on in 1932 through the so-called imagination, the so-called creative imagination of Aldous Huxley, when really through his participation in the FABAIN Society and his brother Julian Huxley, who was a eugenicist, biologist, and co-founding member of UNESCO, he very much knew what he was talking about in this novel. He knew that it's real. He knew that it was real. He knew that it's an official thing. He knew that's the stuff that was going on. So with that being said, y'all, like I said, thank everybody for coming out tonight. Make sure y'all tap in tomorrow night. We going in. We're going to ride out to my brother King L's song, Illusion. Let's go, man. Thanks, everybody, for coming out, man. Love y'all, man.
Woke up already Guys like we be number one. Had to put them on hold, got you dialed in. Played on hot beaches, it was mild in. Gotta die for respect, that's a wild trend. Even through the pain, stay smiling. Woke up, I already won. Guys like we be number one. What we talking about? Where the trap date on the ad, when we ruled out, when we ruled now. Pushing T's at the IN, where they realize is we was tied in. That's a triple entendre if you're rising. I move with love, last resort, violence, last resort. DR class started in the fall where the green changed color, stop being called colors with a midnight touch of cold pressure, no heat. Blood off the Russia, don't get fucking cold heat. They keep your dreams in your sleep while they telling you to leave. It's else right if you say woke up out of sleep, snatch your keys off the table, hit the eye, it's a great day. Love being king, wouldn't change it for a payday. Always hit my target, two hands ain't straight. If you was out who we was, you would say the same thing. King, woke up, already won. Guys like we be number one. Had to put them on hold, got you dialed in. Played on hot beaches, it was mild in. Gotta die for respect, that's a wild trend. Even through the pain, stay smiling. Woke up, I already won. Guys like we be number one. I'm a triple up twice. You can put that on my life. They trying to formulate their lies. I'ma formulate my eyes, turn the M to a B now. That's the boys twice. I ain't do it for their eyes. Look, I did it for their minds. What you trying to kick? Now let's get your ass up behind. See, I triple double lines. I supposed to with LeBron like in the cage with a line. I ain't even hit my prime. If you ain't in their design, they'll put you in the line. See, I'm seeing all the signs, so I had to tell them like I'm fine, like I'm really fine, like I'm truly fine. 4-5. Then I took the 9. I'm just trying to shine. I'm a dime. I'ma send it down, listen, I'm aligned with the star, baby, at the fame. I just want to mind when the pressure start building, think of diamonds in the mind. So in due time, let the truth shine. This be truth time. Peace, love, and blessing. 2 fingers be the true sign. Woke up, already won. Guys like we be number one. Had to put them on hold, got you dialed in. Played on hot beaches, it was mild in. Gotta die for respect, that's a wild trend. Even through the pain, stay smiling. Woke up, I already won. Guys like we be number one.